do I have a treat for you? Now, if you want to know about basketball, if you have any children that are interested in the basketball, I have a person that can tell you from practical experience. I mean, Scott Weekly is a Hall of Famer. His son is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and his granddaughter is winning the MVP award for the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association. So we're going to find out how did you do it, and what do you need to do to prepare your children for the field of basketball and academics at the same time. But Scott Weekly, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Yolanda. Thanks for having me on. What a blessing, and it's always a privilege to spend time with you.
Oh, thank you for being on the show, and it's always a privilege. You have such a shining, bright light around you everywhere you go, and all the basketball players they just speak so highly of you about being an extraordinary coach and an extraordinary individual. But Scott, how did you get involved in basketball? I mean, what made you do get involved in basketball?
Well, thanks for asking that. I think I had a love for the game early in my life. My dad played at Newark High School, and they won a state championship in 1936, I think it was. And
Uh,
so, I always saw that little plastic trophy in the corner of the room, and it was always intriguing to me. And so we had a court in the backyard, and the neighborhood boys and I would play. But the biggest impetus I got for basketball was, I really love football, but I kind of got cut in ninth grade in football, and I said, well, I'll just turn to basketball and see what I can do there.
and that was an awesome decision because it really did a lot for your career, and not only your career, but your whole entire family, it looks like.
Yeah, sometimes you think that things happen aren't that good in your life, but then God can use that as a blessing for
Yeah.
something else. And so I just ran with that, and I surrounded myself with people that love the game, and I had a great high school coach.
Oh my goodness. Now, you have a son and a granddaughter that are going to be recognized. Your son is going to be in the Hall of Fame for the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association, and also your granddaughter is getting the MVP award. Now, that must be a wonderful experience for you as a grandfather, just to look at your son and be there with where your son is getting inducted, and your granddaughter who is Megan, who is making outstanding grades in school and also doing well in basketball, outstanding in basketball. How does that? Tell me about what does that? How does that feel for you?
Well, I like to be able to take some credit for that, but really it's their mother and grandmother. So she's the backbone of this family. And, you know, I have to give credit for my son, and my granddaughter. They both love the game, and they spend a lot of time, practicing, getting better. And no one ever sees those times and those days, day after day, and week after week, and month after month, and year after year, where they're alone in the gym shooting shots to
Mhm,
get better. But
mhm.
what's more important to me, Yolanda, they both have great character, and
Yes.
they probably got that from their mother, and
They got that
grandmother.
from you too, Scott. You anybody, if anybody knows you, they know that you are a person of integrity and character. And that's and so is Mrs. Weekly. But that is important because that when children see that, they model that, don't they?
Well, you like to think so,
Yes,
that
yes.
you're being a good example. As a matter of fact, that was one of the reasons I got into coaching, Yolanda,
Uh-huh.
because One of my great mentors in my life was my high school coach, Gene Millard at Bexley High School, and
Uh-huh.
he was such a great example. I wanted to be like him.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know what, coaches play such an important role in a child's life, and it's so important that they have coaches like you, and it's so wonderful. I mean, it's just great that the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association is recognizing you, because not only do you have exhibit the integrity and the character. When people see that, they'll emulate that kind of personality, and hopefully it'll be spread all around the city. Life would be so much better if we had more coaches and more people like yourself. And I'm so glad that they inducted you, and now they're inducting your son Keith Weekly. And so I want to know something else. How soon do you start a child, if you're a parent and you want your child to be in the NBA, or if you want your child to play college ball? How soon do you get them started playing, practicing for basketball?
That's a great question, Yolanda, because I don't know if there is any exact formula for that.
Uh,
Hopefully someone has a natural interest in the game. My mom and dad never forced me to play. They gave
uh-huh,
me opportunity, like they put a concrete pad in the backyard and put up a hoop and, gave me the opportunity. I think that's the biggest thing you can do for your child
uh-huh,
is just give them the opportunity and then see where they run with it.
uh-huh,
And it may not be basketball, it might be something else, it might be in music or whatever. But
uh-huh,
I was fortunate as a child. My mom and dad never forced anything on me. They never said, you have to do this or you got to shoot 500 shots before you eat breakfast.
uh-huh,
And,
uh-huh,
it was just, they let me follow the process.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you just loved it anyway. So
Yeah.
they didn't have to force you. You just
Yeah.
loved it, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. And I had
what,
great examples. I had great
what,
examples. I had guys I grew up with.
uh-huh,
We were always on the playground. These names, Steve Callip, Bruce Legg, they were South Bexley guys. We were always on the playground. But not only that, I want to mention also, uh, and this might be a question further down the line, but, you
hmm,
know, Columbus basketball in the 60s was one of the best high school eras in basketball in our country.
yes,
You had Lyndon McKinley, Panthers, and Coach Chickarilla, who I played for at Capitol. And then you had Columbus East, and Newark High School,
yes,
Walnut Ridge. I mean, this is just a golden era of Columbus basketball. And so there was a lot of love for the game.
yes, yes. Now you talk about, what do you are there any weeklies that don't play basketball, or that aren't interested in basketball? I had to ask you that question. But it seems like the middle name of the weeklies is basketball.
Well, it's been good for our family.
Uh-huh,
My two granddaughters here. My youngest just got a scholarship to Mount Vernon Nazarene. So one of the benefits, if you love the game and you're good enough, you can get a free college education. But that's not always the case.
uh-huh,
So
uh-huh,
we'll wait and see about my other grandkids. I was
uh-huh,
over in Massachusetts last 2 weeks ago and took my two sons over there to a basketball camp, and they're 7 and 9. They seem
uh-huh.
to enjoy it. So we'll see.
You'll see. Okay. Well, I can imagine that when you around the dinner table and at family reunions, that the subject basketball comes up at the family reunions and the dinner tables. Am I just imagining things, or is that true?
Well, we really, you might be surprised at this. We really don't talk about basketball when we get together.
Oh.
We,
Uh-huh.
I think we spend so much time at the game, playing or coaching. When we come home, we just want to enjoy each other
Uh-huh.
and get together for dinner. We laugh.
Uh-huh.
I got
Uh-huh.
granddaughters, and so they like to dance, and
Uh-huh.
you know, we just have a good time, and God's just blessed our family.
And it's truly, truly a blessing. Scott, when you were a coach, Could you tell us what were you looking for when you selected people for the team when you
Mm.
were coach at Capitol?
Well, I would like to say that, and it is true, coaches mostly, for the most part, are only as good as the talent they have.
Yes.
So number one, you hope you have some talented people,
Mm-hmm.
guys or girls, depending on what you're coaching. And so talent was certainly important, but I think the most important thing is chemistry, is how
Mm-hmm.
that talent plays together.
Could you
Uh,
expound more on the chemistry? What do you mean when you say chemistry? What are the ingredients that comes with that chemistry?
I think players have to be unselfish. They have to be teachable.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're unselfish and they're teachable and they like each other,
Mm-hmm.
they enjoy seeing each teammate, their other teammate, have success.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like not everybody's a great shooter, but
Uh-huh.
a great passer will be happy when he passes a ball to a shooter that makes the shot because he
Uh-huh.
had the assist.
Uh-huh.
So those are the types of things I think make great teams.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's true in real life too, if you when you're working as a
Absolutely.
team, you're happy when somebody on your team is successful. So there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from basketball. Lots of lessons, isn't there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, just being an athlete and being in sports most of my life, I think there's so many life lessons that you can learn about not being selfish,
Mm-hmm.
just helping other people achieve
Mm-hmm.
success, and along with chemistry, I think it also goes, you like to have people that are humble, that
Mm-hmm.
are humble. They
Mm-hmm.
they um, they don't revel in all the wins, but
Mm-hmm.
rather they're just thankful for the ability to be a part of the game.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Now, could you tell me about how did you feel when you were inducted into the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association, and what does it mean for you?
Oh boy, thanks for asking that question. I went to a banquet about 5 or 6 years ago,
Hmm.
and I saw all these great players that I had played with in my career.
Hmm.
And I thought to myself, what a privilege it is to be a part of Columbus basketball. And
Hmm.
then after that experience, I got to know Skip Young a little bit, who's our president.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, through the process, someone must have wrote in my name somewhere. And so, but to me, I'm just humbled to be in a Hall of Fame where I played with guys and I've watched over the years that are really special to me.
Uh-huh.
You know,
It seems like all of you are
that's
like
like,
a family. Y'all all connect.
yeah,
I mean, and then as you bring in more inductees, they become a part of the family, and it's just
right.
wonderful to see how all that is materializing. With all the basketball players, I think some positive things are going to happen in our city because there's so many positive things going on with the basketball players coming together. It's just wonderful, and you've done some positive things with an organization that I'm involved with, 100 Black Women, who came in and did a bullying workshop, and y'all have helped us with, at Christmas time, give hats and gloves. I mean, and it's just been connecting and, like you said, team playing, and it's just wonderful to be a part of working with the GCBLA. But we got a great big program coming up Saturday. I'm trying to get ready for it. I know you are.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Saturday, August the 20th, and it's going to be held from 3 to 6 in the Worthington Christian High School at 1485 LaSalle Road in Westerville, Ohio. So, and you can still get reservations for the event. They have a few left, and all you have to do is call 8 850 528 I'm trying to think. 3 2 3 4 2 2. That's 850 528 3422. And you can still get reservations for the event. Scott, I'm gonna close this, but I want to know, where do you see the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association going in the future?
Well, the future, in my opinion, is only as good as is always going to be as good as the past. And so I want to recognize Skip Young and John Howard and some of the early founders of the GCBLA. What great men! They had
Yeah.
great vision, and they've had a lot of stick to itiveness because
Hmm.
they've had to climb some mountains to get to the point where it is. So um, I see it hopefully having a, like you said earlier, a really positive impact in our community, recognizing young players and also former players, current former players, and student athletes. I would also like to see maybe broaden out a little bit more in the contiguous counties
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's the greater Columbus. And I think that's our next step, Yolanda.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
reach out to like great players in Newark or London or Grove
Yeah.
City or Delaware.
Yes. Yes.
And so we talked about that at our last meeting, and I think that's forthcoming.
All right. I can't wait, because when all of y'all get together, there's something good's going to happen, and I can't wait. A change is coming, a positive change is coming, you guys. And so you have to be, if you want to be in a room with people that are making it happen, people that are positive, and you need all that energy. I can't wait because I want some of that energy. You got to be there Saturday, August the 20th, from 3 until 6 at the Worthington Christian High School, 1485 LaSalle Road. And you can call and still get your tickets at 850-528-3422. And I'll see you next week on S. Yolanda Robinson Show. And I'll
All
also
right.
will see.
Thanks, Yolanda.
Thank you for being on our show, Scott. And well, I'm gonna see you next. I'm gonna see you Saturday. And you know
I can't
what?
wait to see you.
I know you're gonna. If I was in your shoes, I would be hollering, "Woo, woo, woo!"